Man, just like no. Hey, man, you know the one thing that I've gotten better at is the intros, man. I don't know if you remember that, but I was real bad.
Man, it's hard for me to remember. Yeah, it's been a while ago.
Welcome everybody back to the Texas Recruited Film at Texas Recruited Film Twitter. This is live right now. Back doing we're spotlighting high school programs, coaches, getting ready for the season. Tonight, I got Coach Sean Williams from Prosper Rock Hill. What's going on, man?
I'm doing well. How are you, Craig?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good, man. Just been grinding and grinding. Tell me how things have been going with you so far now that school's back in and you got the kids.
Man, I think for us, kind of the same, man. Grinding, working every day. I know the guys probably complaining because I got them on the track a lot, but that's what it's gonna take to be good. So we grinding every day of the week. Yeah. Every day we can grind. We grinding.
We did a podcast almost 3 years ago, right before COVID. Well, not right, but well, yeah, it was right before COVID hit.
Right.
A lot of the stuff that we talk about may seem repetitive, but for some people that don't know you, tell them who Sean Williams is. Tell them your background.
I don't really like to talk about myself that much. I had a solid high school basketball career. Won a state championship 2007. Played on a really good team at Duncanville. Went to the University of Texas for 2 years and finished up at SMU. Was part of turning SMU around. We were top 25 in the country when I was there. I think we got highest as number 14 or 15, I think. Then after that, got into coaching, played for a legendary coach, Larry Brown, who really kind of changed my life because if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. So, yeah, had a lot of fun, met a lot of good people throughout my basketball journey. Played with a lot of good people, and they still helping me to this day.
Yeah, and you're going into your third year at Rock Hill. It's huge to have kids to believe in you when you get there. Obviously, you're a brand new coach. You want parents to buy into who you are also. That, man. How did you get – go ahead.
With that, man, I think it's I still got a lot of work to do, and we still got a lot of work to do. But I think at the end of the day, if the kids know you love them and the parents know you care about the kids, you know, with the guys I coach, I treat them. I don't have any sons. I got 2 daughters, but I treat them like if I did have sons. So sometimes it comes with tough love. Sometimes they might not always like me, but at the end of the day, it's coming from a good place. So I think if they know that, then they're willing to do pretty much whatever you ask them and do it with some effort. But nah, man, you love them. You love on them. When they need to kick in the butt, you kick them in the butt. When they need to be picked up, you pick them up. And once the parents know that, they kind of support you 100%.
And you've been to the playoffs every year since you've been there, right?
Right. First year we lost in the first round. Last year we lost to Kimball. I think that might have been the third or the fourth round we lost to Kimball.
Third. I looked that up earlier.
Yeah, no, we've been having some slight success, but I think this year's team has a chance to be good. We still got a lot of work to do, but I think if I can get them to buy into, which they're starting to, you know, sometimes with kids, they don't start to buy in until they actually see some of the success. For the ones we got coming back that was able to make it to the third round, I think they have done a better job of leading the newer guys that we have.
Yeah, and like you've had kids like Grant Shaw that went there your first year.
Right.
I saw Connor is with Corpus Christi.
Right. No, Connor. So one thing about both of those guys, Grant was always been a pretty good player. Grant scored a ball, pretty much do anything. He's at Fort Valley State now. He redshirted last year, so he'll look to play a lot for them this year. But yeah, now Connor is at Texas A&M Corpus Christi now, which is huge. Yeah. I always knew that he would finally figure it out because he works hard. He would always be in the gym. Even when things weren't going right or things were going bad, he would always find his way to the gym. So I knew if he kept that up, he would be able to find a home. And I'm really excited for him to. It's tough to say you're a D1 basketball player, and he can say that.
Yeah, man. I mean, when you're given how tall is he? 7'1"?
Man, he actually has grown. Connor's probably about 7'3" now.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I saw him
Connor's
doing
big.
that the Mikan drill, and I was like, man, like that's unfair, man.
Right. It almost seems
Uh,
like you don't even got to jump to dunk.
at all. He's that guy that can just mess with the net and get the ball out. I mean, that's
But
crazy,
the
man. I
good
mean,
thing about Connor, not only does he work hard, Connor's a smart kid. Connor will probably be, once he get done playing, probably be an engineer one day. Him and Grant were both pretty bright kids.
yeah, and I mean, I feel like Grant was a good leader for y'all, especially in your first year.
Right. I
Um,
think, not to cut you off, but for me, man, the only thing that sucks about Grant with the school being open, only had him for 1 year. If I was able to,
yeah, exactly.
and Coach Ellis at Prosper did a great job with him as well. But it sucks for me that I only got the coach for 1 year because it's times even now I'm like, man, I missed that. I used to call him a little midget. I missed the little midget. He was tough. He was tough too. I miss Grant.
Yeah. So like last year, you graduated another big time player in Anthony Williams. Um, you come into this year, you got you a little 3-headed monster with B.J. Hooper, C.J. Dennis, and Riley Shore. Talk about those guys a little bit.
Well, Ant. One thing about Ant, and for those that know him and know his dad, Ant was an extremely hard worker. Probably one of the hardest workers I ever coached. It'll be times where, Ant's dad was kind of old school. He would be just running down the street with dumbbells in his hand, jumping on uh, air conditioning boxes for his workout. So Ant was extremely hard worker. It's hard to replace a guy that averaged 17 points a game for us. And what made that more impressive is Ant is probably only like 5'10", 5'11".
Yep.
And now he was real tough. He's at Collin County right now on the basketball team. So hopefully he'll get a chance to play this year. But this upcoming year with our three seniors, BJ, CJ, and Riley, we got a chance to be really good. Those guys have been working hard. Riley's a legit 6'8" now, and can shoot the lights out. CJ is the force in the middle, 6'6", pushing 6'7".
I loved what I saw from that kid this summer.
No, CJ is a guy that brings his hard head to work every day. He's kind of like I won't call him a bully, but sometimes he plays that role. And he plays it really well, and I think he has a chance to be really good and do a lot of good things for us this year. He had a great summer with the Dallas Mustangs and Coach Rod. And Brian is probably one of the most talented scorers with the ball in his hands that I've ever been around. He can flat out fill it up against anybody. So we're working on some other stuff with him, but he can score with the best of them. We also, Chase Nelson, who's a junior, pretty good. We're going to be a pretty good player for us. Andre Buckner, who's a junior as well, he'll be pretty good for us. And to wrap that up, Sam Knight, our senior, has done a great job. He didn't play a lot for us last year, but when you talk about leadership, you talk about the captain role and the captain mentality, he's done a great job for us.
Yeah, that's good, man. What are some of the things that you've been through yourself that you try to instill in these kids that like to help them grow as young men?
Well, from the young man's part, I think what my parents tried to instill me, and I can hear it like yesterday, my mother always telling me, man, nobody's going to give you anything. Now, she said it a little different than that with some choice words in it, but just to let them guys know, man, not only is basketball hard if you want to further your career, but life can be hard at times too. So whatever it is that you want, you got to put the time and put the effort in to be successful at it. And we had to talk today about being on time. And for those, especially those guys that say they want to play college basketball, and a lot of them don't believe me until they actually get there and actually see it for themselves. Like you don't get one time to be late. You don't get my bad. Unless you one of those McDonald's All-Americans, if you ain't doing your job by December, some of them guys will be sent home if you know what I'm saying, if they continuously slowing up late, they're not taking it serious. So I'm just I preach that to them every day. And it's always good when the guys come back, or Grant Shaw comes back, Coach, everything you said was right, Coach. I should have listened, Coach, this. He's finally getting to see it now that he's going to be a sophomore in college, but hoping him talking and me talking to those guys that can kind of get the picture.
Yeah. And so, like, let me talk to you. This is a whole different subject off of that. My damn dogs. Um, so you've played high major basketball. You played for a Duncanville team that was #1 in the nation.
Right.
You did it without a lot of the things that kids have these days.
Right.
And it's so easy for kids to get pulled in certain directions because they can do more over here, they can do more over there.
Right.
Talk about that a little bit, man. Because I'm asking you because you were a legit dude.
Right. Man, I think at the end of the day, and if I could tell parents something and handlers or whatever, at the end of the day, if you are good enough, you will get what you're supposed to get. No matter where you're at, no matter who you play for, no matter what is surrounding you, if you are good enough. Now, what in order to be good enough, there's a lot of stuff you got to do, with some work you got to put into. But I think a lot of time, parents, especially nowadays, get blinded by the lights and the glitter, the glam, social media, all the stuff that's irrelevant to the guys, the actual college coaches, because they don't care about none of that stuff. They don't care if you wear Pumas. They don't care if you play for Nike. They don't care if you play for Under Armour, Adidas, any of that stuff. If you are good enough, you will get everything that's supposed to be yours. So what I would urge you to do as a player and as a parent, if you're worried about that stuff, you're worried about the wrong stuff, just get better. You should always concentrate on getting better. And if you're good enough, when they do see you, you'll get everything everything that you possibly can get. But you have to be good enough to get all the glitter and glam that you're searching for anyway. There's no point of going and chasing the lights if once the lights get on you, if you ain't good enough to produce. So I would always say just get better and work on your craft.
Oh yeah. I mean the kind of the last thing I got for you is you were recruited by a good coach at Texas. You played you played at SMU under Larry Brown. Talk a little bit about what you've learned and what's modeled you into the coach that you are now.
I mean, I think from an on the court perspective, all three of the college coaches that I played for,
and your high school coach also,
right? And Coach Minley, I think the number one thing is you have to be able to guard if you're going to play at the next level. Now there are some exceptions. If you're scoring 50 a game, you're 6'9", you might better get away with some things. But if you cannot guard, you will not play. And for those guys, what a lot of the kids don't understand, Rick Barnes is getting paid $1 million some. Larry Brown, they getting paid seven figures. Matt Doherty, who coached me, he getting paid whatever. So if you're gonna show up late to class, if you're gonna fail out, if you're gonna be drinking or whatever it is, if that other stuff is more important to you, they're going to get rid of you because they don't want to lose the money that they got coming in because it's based on your performance. So not gonna show up to class, you ain't gonna cut it. If you're gonna get caught with drugs and doing that stuff, you ain't gonna cut it. If you ain't gonna show up on time, you ain't gonna cut it. And on top of that, you still have to produce whatever it is they ask you to produce on the court. So I mean, it's very, very difficult to be a college athlete. It is even harder to be a Division I athlete. Especially talking about Big 12, like SEC, whatever Texas is, like that's the upper echelon. I was fortunate enough that the team that I was on in Texas, I didn't get to play, but like 4 or 5 of those guys made it to the NBA. So I got to see firsthand kind of what that takes and what that's like. And even playing for Larry Brown, just to see those old NBA guys come back and talk to us. Like it's a tough game, man. It's a tough game. And what I try to preach to the guys I coach is eventually the ball will stop bouncing. And if you're fortunate enough to get to play basketball for free to try to get a degree, I would urge you to exercise that degree because I've seen a lot of players that go to school and be at school for 4 or 5 years and still don't get the degree, which is almost pointless if you be in there because eventually you stop playing and most people 24, 25 when they get done playing and then you got 40, 50 years to live after that. So take advantage of every opportunity that comes your way and use basketball. Don't let it use you.
Exactly. Last one I got for you, man. What are you looking forward to seeing from your guys this weekend?
Man, this weekend, just to get better from the last time we played, which should be fairly easy because we stunk it up the last time we were on the court as a team. So there's no way, I'm assuming there's no way to go but up for us. So just to get better, play hard and just maximize the moment. So I think we should do that. We've been practicing really well. My older guys are showing some good leadership. So it should be fun. I know we play RW STEM first, and then we play North Crowley the second game at 7, and they're normally have a good team. Coach Brackett does a great job there. And he took a state championship away from me back when I was a junior, going back to back. So he's a great coach, and those teams are normally good. So it'll be good to see how we stack up against them.
It's good, man. I appreciate you coming on, man.
No, I appreciate it, Craig. Appreciate you having me on.
Yes, sir, man. I look forward to seeing you during the season, man.
You welcome anytime to come by the gym, man. Anytime.
Thank you, man. You have a good night.
You too.
Yes, sir.